Babak Khorramdin, formerly known as Pāpak meaning young father, Persian, alternative spelling, Pāpak Khorramdin, 795, according to some other sources 798, January 838, was one of the main Persian revolutionary leaders of the Iranian Khorram-Dinān, those of the joyous religion, which was a local freedom movement fighting the Abbasid Caliphate. Khorramdin appears to be a compound analogous to dorustdin orthodoxy and Behdin good religion, Zoroastrianism, and are considered an offshoot of neo-Mazdakism. Babak's Iranianizing rebellion, from its base in Azerbaijan in northwestern Iran, called for a return of the political glories of the Iranian past. The Khorramdin Rebellion of Babak spread to the western and central parts of Iran and lasted more than 20 years before it was defeated when Babak was betrayed. Babak's uprising showed the continuing strength in Azerbaijan of ancestral Iranian local feelings. Etymology: Babak, Persian, is a given name for Iranian males. The name derives from Pāpak, which means young father in Middle Persian. Early life: Babak was born into a Persian family in Azerbaijan, northwestern Iran, close to the city of Ardabil, modern Ardabil. According to Waqid ibn Amr Tamimi, the oldest biographer on Babak, Babak's father was a Persian cooking oil vendor from Ctesiphon, capital of the Sasanian Empire, modern Almaty, 35 kilometers south of Baghdad in Iraq, who left for the Azerbaijani frontier zone and settled in the village of Balalabad in the Maymad district. According to Fasih, his mother, a native Persian of Azerbaijan, was known as Marumun Face/Bel. After his father's death in his early teens, Babak was given the responsibility of his two brothers and mother during a Zoroastrian ceremony in a fire temple. By the age of 18, Babak had established himself in the city of Tabriz and was engaged in the arms trade and industry. He also served a certain Muhammad ibn Rawazdi. Later on, this engagement gave him the opportunity to travel to some regions and become familiar with regions like the Caucasus, the Middle East, and the Byzantine Empire. Citation needed. Aesthetic style furniture is characterized by several common themes: ebonized wood with gilt highlights, Far Eastern influence, prominent use of nature, especially flowers, birds, ginkgo leaves, and peacock feathers, blue and white on porcelain and other fine china. Ebonized furniture means that the wood is painted or stained to a black ebony finish. The furniture is sometimes completely ebony colored. More often, however, there is gilding added to the carved surfaces of the feathers or stylized flowers that adorn the furniture. As aesthetic movement decor was similar to the corresponding writing style in that it was about sensuality and nature, nature themes often appear on the furniture. A typical aesthetic feature is the gilded carved flower, or the stylized peacock feather. Colored paintings of birds or flowers are often seen. Non-ebonized aesthetic movement furniture may have realistic-looking three-dimensional-like renditions of birds or flowers carved into the wood. Contrasting with the ebonized gilt furniture is use of blue and white for porcelain and china. Similar themes of peacock feathers and nature would be used in blue and white tones on dinnerware and other crockery. The blue and white design was also popular on square porcelain tiles. It is reported that Oscar Wilde used aesthetic decorations during his youth. This aspect of the movement was also satirized by Punch magazine and Impatience. In 1882, Oscar Wilde visited Canada where he toured the town of Woodstock, Ontario and gave a lecture on May 29 entitled, "The House Beautiful." This particular lecture featured the early aesthetic art movement, also known as the ornamental aesthetic art style, where local flora and fauna were celebrated as beautiful and textured. Layered ceilings were popular. An example of this can be seen in Annandale National Historic Site, located in Tillsonburg, Ontario, Canada. The house was built in 1880 and decorated by Mary Ann Tilson, who happened to attend Oscar Wilde's lecture in Woodstock, and was influenced by it. Since the aesthetic art movement was only prevalent from about 1880 until about 1890, there are not very many examples of this particular style left nowadays. But one such example is 18 Stafford Terrace, London, which provides an insight into how the middle classes interpreted the principles of aesthetics.